Hi all. Hope everybody is doing good in this pandemic situation. Here I would like to share you some of the information related to our coronavirus pandemic and the most important thing on that is the people distancing, which is nothing but the social distancing. So before going into that, I would like to say we all know that we do not have a vaccine and there is no medication, and prevention is better than cure is the only way that we can now go ahead in the remaining days until we come to some kind of a medication. So the first thing is the prevention. More important thing is the people distancing. We could see a lot of people are getting infected on daily basis in every location, geographical location, and the primary reason is we do not maintain a proper distance with the other person at the home or other person at anywhere in office or any other location. So we have to really look at this. People distancing is one of the key critical preventive measure to move forward for another maybe a couple of months or a year to come out of this infection completely. So what is the distance? What is a good distance? Right, that is the next question. How far I have to maintain myself, and let's go through that and understand what will be the optimum distance which will help us to keep ourselves in a safe mode. So there was a study being conducted in MIT, US, and the study says that coughing spreads, right, in the form of droplets up to 6 meters distance, and sneezing spreads up to 8 meters. This is very very big number, because this much distance it is traveling, and we all won't follow this much of a distance in the real time, right? If you look at this 6 meters, maybe roughly if you take 3 feet as 1 meter, so 6 threes are 18 feet we have to maintain a distance for coughing, and the maximum is for sneezing, which is 24 feet, which is practically not possible at all the places. Maybe we can follow it in a place where it is really possible. And more importantly, if you look at the other one, the droplets which comes out of through sneezing or coughing, whichever the droplets is capable of suspending in the air, will be there for mostly 10 minutes. So if a person stands there at one spot and he sneezes and he moves away, still the air will hold that particles, and somebody goes and stand there or able to inhale those breathe those airs, then naturally he also will get affected. So this is not alarming. This is just to make sure that we all are well aware of the situation, and to make sure that we follow this in every aspect of our life, so that we can come out of this pandemic situation, right? So we should understand, more importantly, on what is the distance, right? That's the thing I just want to bring it to you. So optimum distance is 15 to 20 feet is a very good distance. So you can see there the distancing should be like as shown in the picture, 6 feet between the person, so 12 feet at places. So more importantly, this virus is not living in the air, right? We all know that it is there inside the body of an infected person. So the person who is carrying the corona, we have to maintain the distance, but we do not know who is the person carrier of the corona. So we have to maintain this distance with everyone, right? Some are symptomatic, some are asymptomatic, so we cannot check with everyone. So just maintain a distance as much as possible, so that we are not going to get infected for that. And as you look into another one, the medium through which the corona spreads is through air. Generally, we will not touch in this pandemic situation. We don't touch anybody else outside our home. So we know very well that we have to maintain a distance. But more importantly, we forget to understand the airflow directions, right? The medium through which the corona is taken from one person to another person is through air. And this air in the natural environment or ambient, it just flows with different speeds or different directions. So if you're in an open space, then naturally the carrier of which is the air will travel very faster, and it is capable of carrying the infected particles from one person to another person, and he also will get infected moment he inhales that infected air. So we should be very careful in open spaces, right? We cannot think that I am at a 10 feet distance or 20 feet distance, still I am safe. No, the speed of the air will determine how quickly it reaches to you. So we should always look at the air direction. Now, how to stand? That's the next question. So when the air is flowing, make sure that it doesn't come and hit on your face, right? Don't stand facing the air directions. Always stand in the other way, like the air comes and hits on your shoulder and passes from left side to right side or from right to left. So this is where is very important. So we should understand air movement is very important, which is a carrier, which is a medium through which the infected particles, the virus particles, move from one person to another person, right? So at home we do not have much airflow, that's fine, but in office it is an AC environment, controlled air environment, so naturally the airflow is very less there. So in those cases, as we discussed earlier, the suspended particles in the air will be there for longer time. It is not carried away anywhere, it will be there because the air is still, the movement is very less, right? It is not still, it is very less. So the infected air moving from one place to another place is very less, but the infected air will be there always. So we should be very, very careful. This medium is the air is the medium through which it is carried. So be careful when we stand in the open environment or inside the office or any other places, how the air flows is. So I would like to tell you another one. Now, due to this pandemic situation, we are no more an individual person, right? I've seen a lot of news flying with so many stories, which has been said one family with 7 people got infected, and including children's like 4.5 years old, 1.5 years old, and the elderly people more than 60 years old. So we should understand we are no more an individual person. When we step out of the home, one person from a family step out of a home and he goes for some purpose and comes back, until he comes back, you should always think that he is not alone, he is not an individual person, he is going as a family. So when you travel as a family, we always take care more than we travel as an individual person, right? So when you travel as a family, you make sure that all are safe. So similar kind of a mindset we should have when we travel outside. When we go outside, step out of the home, we should think that we are going as a family, because one person getting infected, he comes back to the home, and as the time goes, he gives to all the person at the home, and everybody is getting infected. And this is the main reason we have to think it as a family.